Good evening, good evening. Welcome to a evening of live readings, mediumship and psychic, and I will be using my counselling skills to help and navigate you all to um, reach some insight. So I'm going to do a little bit of babbling until I see some people on. I haven't been on live for quite some time now. I've been busy behind the scenes formulating some courses, but also some collaborations with some peers and like-minded people who are into all things healing. Sorry, some of you might already know, if you're here and you know me, that I have a job just sort of juggling the techie side and channeling as well, because I do work with my spirit guides on a mediumistic level and use the clairvoyancy of me, which works alongside the counselling aspects as well. So we are streaming on 3 different platforms. So just be aware that if you don't see comments, it could be that you're watching me from my personal page. We're also streaming from the Angelina Ray page and the Higher Self Development group and my YouTube channel. So do love, like and share and get this live out. Maybe tag a few friends if you feel that they're in need of a little bit of support. It's always sharing is caring and always lovely. Do let me know if you'd like a reading. So come and say hello. Don't be shy. Pop your name in the chat and let me know if you're here. I can't see anybody just yet, and it could be that will take a little while to get broadcasted on all the platforms. And like I said, I've not been on Facebook for a while. So I'm just going to take a little pause and okay, my admin says we have quite a few people on. So that's just probably me not seeing the chat. So for some reason, let me go on to the comments. Here we go. Oh, okay, wonderful. So good evening, Amanda. Lovely to see you, my darling. And we have Heather Lloyd, who said she'd love a reading, please. We have Lynn. Says hello, Lynn. And Eileen. Eileen already. I just want to blow kisses, and I'm also getting Rosemary coming for you, Eileen, already. And Electric Avenue, so somewhere near what's that end that I want to take you? Where's sort of near is it Brixton or down the West End? I think I never know where. I get given that location a few times every now and again. We've got Mary McNiff. Hello, Mary. Lovely to see you. I've not seen you for a long time. Thank you for joining me. Julie and Lynn. Okay, so I'm just going to see where I'm drawn and start the readings. And I do have admin team here as well, so they'll be looking out, seeing if there's anyone. Thank you, Mary. She says Brixton has Electric Avenue in there. So somewhere along there for Eileen. Eileen says Kidderminster in West Midlands is where I'm originally from. Okay, that's not near Electric Avenue. I don't know what that is. It could be a venue somewhere, place where it's at, place where to be. It could be somewhere where you wouldn't have hung out there where you were young because you're from the West Midlands. I don't know, but I've been taken there. So we also have Peter Rainey. He says, hey, don't want to take anyone else's time, but if something comes up, cool. So let's have a look. If my admin team haven't pulled up anyone yet, I am just going to go with my intuition. Also, be aware that I am offering, and if you guys are going to be brave, a cam reading. And what I love about the cam readings is you get to see it and see my blend of modalities in real time, because I work with a lot of different guidance systems to help you to steer you into a direction that's very, very depthy. So it's a whole different level when I can see you, and the interaction is like, it's like having a reading in 3D. Okay, so Eileen's on. I'd really appreciate another reading tonight, please. Okay, so you're on my you've been pulled up, so I'm going to then read you if I can see you on my screen. Just hang on 1 second and make sure that I have oh, okay. I'm just getting a bit ahead of myself. Intro ad, and then we'll begin. A little bit of anticipation, but we'll do an intro ad and okay, and then now we can start the show. Right. Okay. So Eileen, bearing in mind, I just want to say, and I just because I've read for you before, and I want to make sure that I get something that you've not heard. And right, so I just feel like you're getting all the signals, you're getting all, and I feel like I'm drawn to your love life, I must say. And there's someone around you, but I'm just saying, I'm just hearing it like you're getting all the right signals. So I don't know. You take it as you will with that one. I'm going to draw you a card. So I'm going to do a bit of a mix of a card reading with you. But I do feel like Grandad steps in, and he's a bit pushy. This is what I'm saying, what I'm hearing, or what I'm feeling from this vibration. He's wearing a polo neck, like a jumper. It's white woolly. Sorry, I'm getting corrected, but it's a little bit up here. And he's saying to me that he's working for you behind the scenes. He's saying to me that I would have been a little bit well, I don't know if that's the right word, but there's a little bit around the belly. It's gone like that. It's gone like that. He's a bit of a fast talker, this one as well, and he's almost like this. As he's working with me, so I just need to slow him down. But he's definitely he's the one actually. He says, "I want to give you a big kiss." And I know he would have been a bit pushy at times. He's saying to me. Yeah, okay. So let me just, and Arlene, let me know as and when that I'm saying things, if things make sense to you. So you put, he was a little podgy and talked so fast. And that is true, because that is the way he's working me. And I almost feel exhausted. I feel exhausted. I think he's saying to me before he left, he felt a little bit incomplete, and I think that he was missing people up there. That's what he's saying. And he's definitely around you, because there's something about your air conditioning that he's saying that he'd quite like to fix, I think. So let me draw you a card, and then we will, I was going to say we'll go to someone else, but I've hardly given you something. But I'm just working with spirit, because it's almost like wanting to do. They want to send you something short and sweet, and then send you on your way. So it's like you need a message that's quite blunt and to the point, because there's something that you're not listening to. That's what I'm being told. And so release. Time to move on. So Arlene says, yes, he missed his brother. And yes, air conditioner. I've lots of fans because I've no windows in my flat. That is, so you better get ready for the heat wave, right? And I'm being told to hold on to your hats, actually. There's some fast-paced movement ahead of you. So what are you releasing? Time to move on. there's somebody around you also that I have to say, and I don't know whether you'll be helping him or he needs a little help, who has a little bit of an addiction. I'm just and it's a guy. I don't know whether um I'm hearing brother and I'm hearing uncle, but there's someone with an addictive um trait that needs your help at this particular time. And I'm hearing the word counselling, 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 because go and do your degree, go and do your studies, basically. But then you sometimes get that one work for you. And this one comes here, a sudden event that needs immediate attention. Have you paid your council tax bill? That's just what's coming to my head. And yeah, I want to keep it short and sweet. I've got rosy cheeks here as well that I'm getting. I'm getting rosy cheeks, and there's no need to feel embarrassed. I think there's love coming in for you, and I can feel you. I can feel you. What's it? You get quite when the attention's on you. You get quite flustered, but I do definitely feel like there's a love vibration stepping in. I don't know whether you feel that already, but I am so excited about that. So Eileen says, yes, absolutely. I've not been listening when they've been telling me to get on live cam and do my own mediumship and coaching. And I've been a little bad, yes. Can take the addiction, and you completed your counselling course. I'm so excited. And you've just paid out, you just pay out for an overpaid council tax bill. Okay, so Arlene, yes, I want you. Maybe you can join me on cam. Maybe you can join me on cam one day. That would be amazing. And then you never know, you could maybe do a few readings. So just a suggestion. And love at night. Okay, I'm going to go on to the next reading, and we will see who we've got. Oh yeah, okay. So Lynn says, may I have a card, please? Okay. It's really fantastic that you guys give me the confirmation, and the more interactive, as Arlene has demonstrated, the more value and connection I can offer up to you. As you know, there's a lot of people that join, and so I want to be able to. Also, don't forget, guys, you'll get a cross read as well. So there may be a lot of people who won't get a direct read, but there are definitely messages within messengers. So keep yourself very open to that. So Lynn, I'm going to work with you, and but before I do, I'm just going to check on here, and don't forget. Anyone who wants to have a live cam, please don't be shy and volunteer. Okay, I've got something. I've got Benson and Hedges that's coming to. I feel like I have a gentleman that's stepped in, and he's showing me an ashtray, but it's like, can I have a fag? He's saying a fag. He'd call it a fag. And I think that this person has either got a moustache or a beard. But you're weighing up a few things. He's come in to give you some confidence. I don't know whether you work in the beauty industry, but I've got something about image, and that's where I'm placing the confidence. So I don't know whether you work in health and well-being, beauty industry, I can't even get my words out. That doesn't even want to come out. Industry. It feels like whatever you're doing, it's feeling a little bit convoluted. So it's important that you are true to your style, your authenticity. And I'm linked into work. Okay. And I've been told for you to, you've got to close the curtains or close the blinds. I don't know whether your sleep is very, because something about getting, do you get sleep paralysis as well? I have to say that there's something about having it dark in your room, and make sure you get some special blinds. Yeah, you're doing a lot of dream work. Don't know if you know that, but my guards are also in here, and You're doing a lot, and there's a certain function. I don't know whether you're a stylist or what, but I'm just hearing the word function. There's a function which you'll be doing or joining, and will be in. Okay, little. No, let me just turn that off there. Oh, that's my daughter. Okay, Lynn says okay. I'm not too sure what you're saying okay to. Like I said, if the more specific you are, the more content I will add. Okay. If not, I'm going to draw you a card and then we'll go on to the next reading. Yeah, whoever's with me, he says you're very beautiful. It's like a supermodel. He's saying, I don't know, you're quite tall. And I'm getting it 6'2". So either you're 6'2" or the spirit energy 6'2" is very specific to you. For you. Lauren says, if you feel drawn to me, would love a reading. Okay, Lynn says I own a food business. Okay. You own a food. There is definitely something else. So that would be the function that you're doing. But I have a feeling that you've got to use all aspects of you in your business. And there is something that I feel like this is granddad with you, but he's really initiating the beauty of you and making it clear to me to remind you of that. Because you could do anything that you put your mind to. So I don't know whether this is because of relationships or what, but I'm building up your self-esteem. So this is definitely a reading for your self-esteem, and that's what I'm guided to share. So I will leave it like that for you, Lynn. Okay. And then I think I am going to go to, let me just have a little, let's do, okay, we're going to, it's coming to me is that we're going to address Heather. So have you had some bad news, Heather, at the moment? Just pop your a hello in the comments so I know I'm working with you, and then I will link in so I can have a little bit of Lynn. Sue says, thank you so much. You are most welcome. I'm glad that it has resonated for you. Heather Lloyd, there you go. Oh, pretty girls. They're beautiful. Somebody's come in and said, I hate to burst your bubble. Okay. And I don't know whether you've been highlighting your hair recently. So, hi Heather. So, you've had I'm just seeing a light bulb. There's an idea that you've had a light bulb moment. I know that to be true. And I just keep seeing you like dyeing your hair. There's like a new appearance. You're kind of changing. I feel like you've had an awakening, or something has changed you. You've had a wake up call. Let's put it that way. And I'm led to say that things feel quite positive, although it's been hard. And I know the link is saying to me, I want to give you reassurance. And as I'm saying that, I'm seeing a bark tree. There's something about the bark of a tree. Now, this could be bark as in maybe the little droplets bark. I don't remedies. But I don't know what bark denotes to, what place of reference, but I need to give you that. Let me draw a card. But I see that the soil is rich, so I know that there's some good foundations. There's some good foundations. I'm getting something about a new a home, but I'm getting the council. I don't know if you're thinking about ringing the council or something to do with the council. Heather said, did highlights in my hair. 2 or 3 weeks ago. That's perfect. Grandma steps in. She says, make sure that the kids brush their teeth. She says, get them an electric toothbrush. And I feel like the grandma is quite thin. She feels like a grandma, and she's got, I'm noticing her wrists are quite frail. And they would be like these, like, I can see the veins in them. So they're really quite, yeah, something I'm drawn to, the wrists of your nan, I think it is. I think it's your nan. But let's have a look. Yeah, sorry. Sometimes I get put off because I'm reading the comments and then I need to get back in. However, you feel at the moment. Oh, I'm getting. I don't know if this is love vibration, because I'm just feeling like your heart skipped a beat. Your heart has skipped a beat for something. Is that? I don't know whether you have, just because there's 2 girls, but I'm getting something like childbirth. I don't know whether you had a complication then, because I'm picking up a little bit of PTSD or trauma or anxiety. So, guys, you know that I'm a therapist as well. So when my guides come in, or if I work on a mediumship link, they often try and help me to cover aspects such as fear, attachment issues. And so sometimes I might point out the psychological, what do we call it? Misalignments. And I've heard the word as it came in, as I've heard it as not an inaccuracy. Sometimes the words don't come out when I want to speak. And I think that's how I'm working with you. When you're trying to express yourself, it comes out all mixed up and jumbled up. So I'm just, there's sometimes a feeling with you that you get frustrated with yourself. And I just want to say, give yourself a little bit more credit. And yeah, you do hold I know that you've had a lot to struggle with at the past, and I was just placed reference to the childbirth of one of your kids. So I do cover elements like trauma and slight PTSD. I don't want to stigmatise. It's just sometimes we need to process memories that we haven't given enough time for, because you're busy being a mum, so you haven't. That needs to be decompartmentalised. All right, so I hope that makes sense for you. You might just need 3 or 6 sessions just for you, just to get yourself to acknowledge stress, okay, and how you manage that. I am going to do a workshop, a group on a healing workshop on the spiritual aspects of stress, and also how that plays onto aspects of soul fragmentation. And I do, in another live, I'll talk more about that, and who I'm collaborating with on that aspect. Okay, that's enough of me babbling on, because I've digressed a little bit, and I'm going to just check with admin who I'm reading next. Don't forget to love, like, and share. And we are going to work with Julie McCafferty. Okay, I do get very busy with all my different channels, so I apologize if I've said hello and then I've not got back to you, I've not given you a reading, because I do get channeled quite quickly and worked. So Julie, I would feel really, I'm just trying to focus, Julie, and I can't focus with the energy that I'm tuning in. I mean, I'm getting coffee beans. I don't know where coffee beans are coming from, but I want to show you like Nescafe coffee beans for you. So you'd really appreciate reading. Okay. And Heather Lloyd says, thank you, need to stop being so hard on myself. Absolutely, 100% on point, you do. There's always a reason for our madness. So Julie, these coffee beans, there's a need for me to do some clearing with you. So I don't know whether physically you've got some objects, or you need to create space in your home, but I'm also seeing debris that could do with being cleared. And I'm not too sure. Julie says, yes, you love coffee. I love coffee too. So there we go. Thank you, Debris. We're talking about, they work me so multidimensional. You know, I've done many things in my life, and fitness instructing was another a journey I went to. Just because it really helps get yourself. The body was really important when I was channeling. So discovering my channel, should I say. Now, Julie, I'm getting for a cleanse. So the debris that I see is your colon. No, everybody, and don't freak out. It's like the microvilli, the colon, your gut. I just want to promote a bit more energy levels, because there's a few. So have a body cleanse is what I think Spirit have just said to me. I get quite passionate about this thing, so if you want to find out a little bit more about that, then send me a PM. Okay. There's some fear going on, but you're scared of the unconscious mind, because how Spirit have said is like you're afraid of the dark. So I know very much that you're scared of the unknown and what's ahead of you. There's some options and some choices, and you're afraid to come out of your comfort zone. And as I'm with you, I actually want to take a sip of red wine. So I know there's a lot of stress in your work life. And also I feel like you're studying or something, because I'm getting like academia, but you're studying or you're researching, or you're working past your ordinary hours. And there's a lot of consumption just to come, energy levels. So that will go into also like I know I want to put you up in a promotion, or you're up stepping up the ladder, something where you're gaining more progression and progress. But what I'm hearing is slow and steady wins the race, and I'm getting a little bit of a migraine over here when I'm hearing that, and also or less haste, more speed. So also in the workplace, not everything is obligatory. So whoever is telling you what's what, it's important that you read behind or in between the lines and make your own choices and decisions. Be a little bit ambidextrous and trust yourself, because I definitely see you're your own boss. There's a management position or something like that. Julie says, yes, lots of stress in personal life and trying to work. So you're trying to balance it all. But I know that there's a real call for more fulfillment, because I don't feel that you're recognized in the job that you do. You could certainly, you're not filling your fullest potential. Let's put it that way. And Julie, I'm going to draw you your brother. I don't know. I'm just being drawn to your brother. I don't know whether he has been a little bit under the weather. But there's some healing being sent to him, and I've got a bit of a sore throat. When I think about him, there's some communication needed around his. I can't get to it. There's something about your brother that I'm being drawn to. Julie says, yes, you're spot on. Not fulfilled. Yeah. I could just really spend a long time with you, Julie, to so you come out of this session knowing more of who you are. Yeah. Let me draw you a card and I'll go on to the next reading. I have a hard job, guys. I'm extremely thorough, and I look at all the tiny details, because I just want you to have a maximum life in all these areas, body, mind, spirit, soul, the lot. So I'm going to draw a card and then I'm going to go into someone else. Okay. Julie says, yes, brother, not too good. I have a sore throat at the moment. Thank you. And I also want to say thank you, darling. Wants to come out. Thank you, darling. And I have a little bit of an East End with me when I say that to you, because it's the confirmation that you're giving me that's helped, but they are feeling that too. Yeah, there's an East End vibe that's just stepped in. I'm saying you're a little bit cloudy, love, and I've got like peppery hair. Is this a? I feel like it's a female, but they come together. So there's a female and a male, which I'm having a job to go, which who exactly it is, because they come as a team, is what I'm sitting there like that. So and I'm getting this really wanting to hug you so tight, yeah. And the pair of you, I'm getting. So it's like your sister and your brother, because family is important, is what they're saying upstairs. Maybe that feels a little bit difficult for you because maybe you're worrying a bit too much, but that's what they say up there. Okay, Julie, lots of love, and feel free to contact me for a more in-depth reading. Okay, so have we got anyone who wants to have a cam reading? Because I'd love to, by the end of the night, demonstrate my camera readings with you all, because it gives you a full flavour of how I blend my modalities to help you decode your psyche, your hidden blocks. Let me just see who I am next. And Julie says, "Ah, thank you. You are most welcome." Don't forget, guys, you might not see all the comments here because I'm streaming on 3 different platforms and my YouTube channel. And I think on my personal page, you won't be able to see the comments. So Mary is next. So I'm not too sure which Mary, but do come and there we go. Mary, my heart warms for you, Mary, because you're familiar. So I'm also getting a dimple. Is it a dimple? I was going to say here, but I think it's on my chin. But I feel like this is spirit who's coming. I can't gather, but I can't choose whether the dimple's here or in the chin, whether there was 2 of them. Julie, you thank you. You're most welcome. Right. Let me concentrate. Someone is almost like giving a wink in the eye, but I've got like a nervous twitch on my, definitely I feel like it's my right eye is twinging a little. So I'm just trying to make out whether this is spirit or whether this is someone around you that has got this sort of like nervous twitch. I want to say like a nervous disposition, but I'm hearing the words, "You're not trusting yourself." And I'm hearing also that it's important that you're clear and to the point. I don't know if there's a deadline or feels like you're treading a fine line. But I think again, this is, and you're feeling triggered. I feel like I'm focusing on the aspects of work. I'm working on a lot of the work vibration at the moment. Okay, Mary says, likewise. Oh, thank you. I think that's about the connection thing. So, yeah, I think, okay. I think there's somebody who's being very extremely blunt. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing the word blunt. So I was like, oh, was that Mary? Or was that, yeah, someone around you? Okay. And I have to say that I'm seeing a rat. So basically, there's somebody that I wouldn't necessarily take with a pinch of salt. Okay, is what I'm saying. Take with a pinch of salt. It's almost, it's not malicious because I'm trying to feel into the energy. It's more like little white lies, but you can sniff them out. So it's important for you that people aren't disingenuous. I feel like I don't know whether this is with you. I think that there's somebody else that stepped in. So there's someone here on the live, because I'm having, again, I'm having a few addictions at the moment. People with addictions. There's one with like a cocaine misuse, but that's, I feel like that's with someone, but I just need to claim it, say it, and then I just move. That's not. I don't think that's for you, Mary. Okay. Oh, he's gone. Right, Mary, you said I'm very tired with the long hours. Sounds right regarding the rodent. Now, what I want to say is, I don't know whether you're aware that you are working with your clairs, and particularly, I do feel there is mediumship that I'm working with you, because I had to demonstrate with you how to create boundaries with those upstairs, because I think that they're saying someone's having a laugh, there's a lot of spirit that are working around. There's a lot of um, spirit that are working around. I want you, I don't know whether you're in, to get yourself into, I don't know whether it's your thing, Mary, but I do feel like you are, there's something that you, there's an awakening. I don't know if you've gone into a meditation group, whether you've had some healing, but something has opened up your third eye, because I'm seeing a lot of interaction with behind the veil. And I think a lot of it will be in your dream state. That you're there's a lot of weird and wacky and abstract dreams that you are dreaming right now, and it's requiring you to process. And there's a lot of stuff coming up from the past that's clearing, and it's coming in. I'd say when you sleep, but you have got a lot of. I'm hearing guides that they're working with you. Okay. And Mel says, yes, you did speak with me regarding boundaries. Okay. The thing is, with creating boundaries with spirit, what do I want to say? I'm just trying to think of. Okay, I'm getting it. How and I feel like this is, you're easily led, but I know you're not. So I'm wondering is when you're easily led in your mind. Okay, Mary, this might be a little bit of a one-to-one session that we've got, because they're giving me a lot of work to work with, and I need to slow it down. But I want to do it on a spirit guidance level, because what I'm led to say is you could feel other people's thoughts and feelings and feel like they're yours, and you walk around um, believing a feeling because you can't associate it with a clairvoyant message that you've picked up. So you've basically embodied, like, it's a bit different from empathy. It's a bit different, and it gets a little bit tricky. So I don't want to get all complicated here on these, because I'm just meant to give you a straightforward reading. But they're working with me like that because I want you to understand your gift and exactly how intuitive you are, so that you can stand with these people, and be able to offer your insight in a very empowering but not overpowering way, where you're being truthful, but you're able to hand them over your what it is that you're picking up, basically. So I hope that helps. I'm going to draw you a card and then I'm going to close down, because it's just going to be a proper one-to-one session that I'm giving you online. On spirit guidance. But you're definitely opening up to those upstairs and your clairvoyancy. So I don't know what you're doing, but you're more receptive. Okay, so here's the water that I see. Oh gosh, there we go. That's your dream state. That's you going into the abyss of your sixth sense and your psychic realm. And I'd say the skilled work of you is to get yourself being the sort of, what do we call it? Find your handbook and learn how to work that gift. All right. So Mary says, thank you, and I'll try and book in with you another day for one-to-one in person. That's amazing, Mary. Yeah, because we could get on and do quite a lot with what I'm picking up. So where I'm going to go is, now I'm trusting my admin team to be reading the comments, because I will kick myself sometimes when I go back, and I haven't replied to some people that I really wanted to reply to, but it's quite difficult. As you can see, I get kept very busy with my guidance system. So Ali Smart is next, and don't forget, guys, I might show an ad after a couple of reads, where you can see a live on cam reading. So I'll put an ad after with a few more readings. Ali, you said, yes, please, I'd like her. Okay. Let me just adjust. Mary, she says, after psychic realm, you froze on me. Okay. I pulled two cards, Mary. One was that the water was the psychic realm that you are entering into more so than you ever have in your life. And the other card was about you learning your craft. It was the study card. Okay. So, Ali, I'm with you. I want to almost get my, I don't know. I feel like you're a female, because sometimes names are, what do you call them, both. But I feel like I want to get my belly button pierced. Yeah, I really want to get my belly. I feel very exotic, and I want to jump, dance. Very creative, very, very creative. Andrea Christophe, hello, 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 hello. Lovely for you to join me, Andrea. Sorry, sometimes I see people that I know and I have to have a shout out. So let me just make sure. Yeah, there's a creativeness to you. There's a creativeness to you. And I'm going to just, Mary says, thank you, Angelina. Stay well, everyone. Stay well, Mary. And lovely, as always, to have you on. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to shuffle the cards for a minute just to clear, because you can tell that I've got quite chatty and I need to get focused again. Where's she gone, actually? Oh, it's Ali anyway. And then I'm just going to adjust my admin team. Yep, we'll play the video after the reading. So I want to take a big sigh, Ali, with you. And I've got someone's giving you the cold shoulder. And I also actually feel like I'm getting shoulder pain here as well. But someone's giving you the cold shoulder. And I just want to say, like, fret not. I know it's a weird thing, but that's just how spirit have come down. Because it's almost like saying, and don't you fret. And the person that I have with me is very traditionally English, like I'm getting an English rose. Yeah. There's something on the sidelines. So it's like saying to you, I feel like there's a part of you at the moment that has given up hope, or feels like, oh, there's nothing going on at this moment in time. But I do have a feeling that you are required to stop, take stock, catch your breath, because I'm getting a month or two, things are just going to be go, 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 go. And I'm placing children around you. I don't know whether you've got quite more than a couple anyway, but there's definitely children around you. And I feel like there'll be more. There's more to come. So I don't know whether, also I've got to be difficult with predicting. I feel like there's an expectancy with another little child that's been plonked in your arena. And I'm getting, it's very important for you not to give up hope. And I'm getting a waft of cigar smoke that's just coming. It's like, oh, like this person, it's just like cloudy. And I don't know whether, I think I've got cards, like gambling cards, with him. And it's like with this fellow. So this is a little bit of an English sort of, yeah, accent. Ali, let me pull you a card. I can't see you commenting. So I'm hoping you are still here. Also, it's like I want to put bright red lipstick on you. I don't know whether you like that colour, but there's something about it's got to be bright. You suit it. And I'm going to stroke up because I can't see you commenting, so maybe you've lost connection. You're going into uncharted waters as it feels like the unknown. It feels like the unknown. And there's a feeling like you've gone under bankruptcy, or you've lost some finances and lost some money. So I know you would have lost in more ways than one, but don't give up hope, because you're very what's the word? Is it frivolous? You can easily, as much as you've lost, you can easily build. And this is very much an opportunity that is around you, but you need to see the silver lining. Okay, so I hope that has made sense for you. What I've given you, you resonates. And we're going to just take a break. So do watch a demonstration of my on-cam readings stroke therapy, just to demonstrate how you can benefit from a camera one-to-one. Okay, so I'll be back. Don't go anywhere. And there's tongue-tied that I get a sensation with you, but as I'm getting tongue-tied, I'm getting this really funny experience in my hand and in my wrist. So my hand is kind of like that. I don't know whether this is a lady. I don't know whether do you know anyone who has passed over with a stroke or something there with the mobility, but my hand just wants to go really limp.
My mum.
Okay. How was that to feel? The reflection that I'm giving you. What's that like to hear it on the other side?
I find it very challenging because there's two sides to it, and I find it very restricting at times. But I feel withdrawn in certain senses, and I start to feel quite guilty. It's like I just don't have the time, and then I'm balancing a part-time job as well, so it's very, very difficult.
Okay. But I really feel the sense of fear around abandonment, but growing up and becoming an adult. Embracing the woman in you is very, very hard, because you're trapped as a child. You're trapped as a child because the child part of you hasn't been realised and acknowledged yet, and it's your way of being able to keep control. It's your way to keep yourself safe. Could you feel that from me?
Yeah, that makes total sense. I feel like as a child, I did have to grow up very fast, if I'm being honest, and knowing how to do that was very difficult. I was just like, I don't really know how to do it. I just sort of done it the way I thought, and I feel like I haven't embraced my inner child self at times, as silly as that sounds. And that's what's blocking me, because I did feel a lot of anger as a child and a lot of resentment, and then I realised growing up I didn't need to feel that.
And I also want to say, just before I dig in a little bit more, and I'm being aware this is a public platform, you see, so what I want to do is ask you a few questions, and I'm going to do some cards, because this is all like a mini therapy session. But what I want to do is help you to work through that block, and just so that you know that that's exactly what you're holding on to. The thing is about readings is we can go into the energy and look at things as objectively, but we also want to be subjective as well. And I think that's why I look at it's so important to have a holistic approach when we deal with things like clairvoyancy, psychicism and mediumship. It's like, I say magical, because as soon as you came in I saw a rainbow over you, so I know that you get into all this thing about anything's possible. You can exceed the odds, you can push through barriers, you've got a very positive mind. You've got a positive mind, but you've also, within the positive mind, you have a little bit of where you block out anything that's uncomfortable.
So I have to agree with that.
And I'm going to ask you, because you will have the answers. What do you think it is that your soul is requiring from you to transcend with the resentment that you hold?
Well, I had a tear rolling down my eye, but I feel really relieved. It's like you've just hit the nail on the head. I don't feel as sort of like as heavy or apprehensive or as anxious as when I started, because of course I didn't know what was going to come up, but I was hoping something was going to be mentioned about my mum, because that's like a big sort of factor, and I always want to know she's okay. That's always subconsciously in my mind. But I'm feeling a lot more sort of like relieved and sort of like validated, and there's a strong sense of like calm. Definitely a strong sense of calm. I don't feel as heavy as when I started, definitely not. I feel like some of that tension has been relieved.
Thank you as well, can I say, for being on this live in the public and being comfortable and being vulnerable. You're healing so many other people by being on here. So
no, thank you for having me. I think it's so important to go on live, because of course it would have been something I wouldn't have done like years ago. I'm like, no, it's so helpful for so many others and for myself.
Take care.
Thank you.
You're most welcome. See ya. Okay, so I have no idea how many are on these lives. We're streaming from 3 different platforms, so just be aware that you might not see all the comments if you're coming from my personal page, or depending where you're at, you will see comments differently. So we're going on to some on-cam readings. We're going to mix up a little bit, some on-cam and then text. So we've got Jade, actually. Apparently, I've just been told, as the advert came, admin just got in touch with me to say that Jade's here, and she's got a lot of feedback. So I'm going to just have a one-to-one with her, and then we'll go to our next reading after that. So I'll wait till Jade Johnson on cam. Hello, my darling.
Hello.
Oh my God, this is so strange that you've come on, because
I know.
I had no idea that you were coming on tonight. You must be psychic.
I literally looked on your page, because I've been like checking in every week or so to see when you're next doing a reading, and it popped up and I was like, oh, maybe this is a calling.
That is so crazy. Yeah, maybe it's a calling, maybe it's your psych. So Jade, let's just go into what you want to go into. So it's totally I'm getting the words, it's your domain. It's your domain. So I feel like, again, I seem to be working a lot with business and career at the moment
It's
tonight.
so funny. Yeah, career's like a big thing for me. There's been like a few things that have happened since we last spoke. So, yeah.
So, okay, so would you like to have an insight as to what I'm connecting with, or would you like to share what's happening and then gather your insight from me that way?
I think if I share and then we'll go, yeah,
Yeah.
we'll go that
Okay.
way. That would be brilliant. Yeah, so since we last spoke, there's been a few sort of developments. I was continuously applying for jobs. I actually do have a job that I'll be starting in September, which is so, so exciting, which has been a little overwhelming for me. And I'm trying to not getting my head about it, but super exciting. So I will be in a school. So that's sort of the pathway I am going down. So that has worked out. It terrifies me a little bit, but it's a good thing, and I think it will put me in a better frame of mind because I'm still on placement at the moment, and I'm that close to finishing, which is so, so refreshing because I just really want to be out of that placement. I feel like it's very, very draining on me. So yeah, and I had my graduation last week, a mini graduation, which was so, so nice. It was a blessing and it wasn't.
Mhm.
I think where I had so much going on, it actually sort of caused a panic attack where I felt like such an influx of emotions. I had a celebration, which then later on brought on a panic attack, which was absolutely awful. But I think that's helped me like reassess my life and do some work on myself. So subconsciously, I think I needed like that to sort of bring everything closer and sort of tune in with how I'm feeling, which is
Yeah.
really, really, really strange. I didn't think that would make me think and feel differently. So they're sort of the big things that have sort of happened at the moment.
Well, do you know, one thing that I can recall was the bit about you being trapped in the
Mm,
world of you because it felt like you needed permission to move on, to move forward, and so a bit of you was sabotaging yourself,
yeah,
that feeling of being guilty. And like you said, you needed it. And when you said, "Oh, I think I needed it to elevate," were you talking about that you needed to see yourself in that finished state where you were coming towards the graduation? Or were you also saying within that, I needed to feel that fear come up inside me, that fear somehow did me good? Just want to specify.
yeah. I think I think it was a bit of both, which is so, so strange to say. I feel like it was a pent up emotional roller coaster throughout the year. There was like good and bad points combined. But I did get like a lot of sort of learning lessons from it, which was amazing. Um, which has been like a blessing in disguise. But I feel like it was the closure on ending my course and how I dealt with that amount of stress for a whole year. I don't think I realized how much I put my body under with the amount of juggling I did. And I was even having this conversation with a friend, and she just said, I'm really shocked you didn't have a panic attack before then, or like your body had continued for that length of time without sort of having like a really, really sort of explosive reaction, or your body sort of just going into panic.
Yeah, you went into an auto drive to
Mm,
get to a destination, and
yeah,
you had a moment in time where you then process that journey with this sense of overwhelmment, but also embodying the stress, because before that you just wasn't even thinking right or left, you were just going forward.
forwards, yeah.
And so out of it, I'm wondering what I'm hearing is out of it you have learned the importance of self-care, but the effects of what happens to you if your body is compromised.
100%. Like throughout the year, I feel like I haven't been eating properly. I've not been getting enough sleep. I have basically been in autopilot. I've just been taking each day as it comes and juggling a part-time job and a full-time course, and I still don't know how I've done it, but I feel very, very relieved, like very, very relieved that it's coming to an end and that I don't have to juggle multiple things, because I physically couldn't do it anymore. I think something worse than a panic attack probably would have happened if I continued it for a longer period of time than a year.
You were able to distinguish the difference between overwhelm and panic. They can be easily together, but the anxiety or just stress. And what was happening is I was getting a message in from spirit to say, because you remember we linked in with feelings of mum.
Yeah.
And that's always been hard for you, and I can feel it coming now. Is you had to prove yourself to yourself aspects of tenacity and resilience. It's important because as you embodied those key skills, somehow you are able to. Now, before I go in with my analysis, I want to just get you to tap into your higher self, your inner knowingness of what you have actually spiritually undergone that has been such a massive achievement, not just the actual physical product of you going through your graduation. But when I'm saying to you that on a spiritual level, you had to develop characteristics such as resilience and what was the other one? I think I said I think it was tenacity. I can't remember, but it's
I think you did say that. Yeah.
Yeah. So just feel that, feel the resilience within your body, and tell me what that resilience means to you.
I feel like that resilience has just given me that drive to just know, like, I am capable of what I put my mind to, like that, like I can tune into that sort of higher power and know I can, reach my destination and drive myself there, even with multiple factors tuning in with circumstances in life. I really just, I don't know how, I just feel like I'm very, very much in the mindset where no matter how much stress or how much worries I have that are going on, I can just sort of push myself. I've done it throughout of all of sort of like education and in life. And I think I've just adapted that through being a child, where I've just sort of like, I don't know, I've just navigated myself. Like if you wanna get somewhere or you wanna do something, you can't rely on anyone else. You have to just do it yourself. And I think for my endpoint, I was so far into where I wanted to be. I was like, there's no quitting, there's no backing out, because I'd feel 10 times worse than not reaching the end point. I just have that drive and determination. When I set my heart on something and I am really, really, when I've really sunk my teeth into it, I can't quit. I'm very, very, I feel like I'm more strong-willed than I actually realize, and I don't give myself enough credit for it.
You what stood out for me is you said that you connected to the higher power of you, that but before you had a narrative that said I need to do this on my own, and because you had that narrative you would self-sabotage, but in your adversity you pulled on to outside of yourself that took you to sail through, and somehow knowing that you're not alone, because other aspects that go beyond yourself, you're able to face the situation with, and I want to bring it back to the focal point of mum, because I know that was a massive thing and I felt the emotion. Knowing, how do you think that's changed the dynamic of how you can connect and relate to her?
I think just every time I visit mum and just seeing sort of her vulnerability and how strong she is, she's so incredibly strong. Every time I see her and I just hold her hands and I look into her eyes, I'm just like, I'm not just doing this for me, I'm doing this for you. Just because she is such a strong character, I feel like she almost like feeds her energy into me, which is so weird to say. I know some people would be like, but how can you grasp and say that? I just feel like her presence or just something embodies me even when I'm not with her. There's just there's more of a connection than there ever has been before. It's such a strange thing. Like, I can't even describe or put it into words. It's just, she'll always be in my mind, even if it's the back of my mind or like subconsciously, I'll always be like thinking. And I think that's where I sort of draw that from. Like, it does, as soon as you mention mum, I'm just like pent up with emotion, but I can more freely talk about it and not be so cagey, which is nice. That's like quite refreshing for me.
Yes, because she's helped you enable your vulnerability, which is
Yeah.
innovation. Now what you do is you don't just think about her, you feel her. And what you do
Yeah.
is you have embodied her archetype, you've embodied her strength. So her channels run through you. This is gives you the bigger picture of
Yeah.
her disability, because now
Yeah.
you see that there's nothing to feel sorry for, literally.
So true.
So you don't have to feel guilty anymore, because in her vessel, she's in her domain.
Yeah.
And which is why I said, and you're in yours at the beginning. I said, I felt like you were in your domain.
That makes so much sense. Yeah.
As you spoke, I was saying, you know, when you said that you reached a graduation, I was literally seeing balloons around me, an anniversary. So is there a significant as well, not just graduation, but is there significant birthdays or
Oh, so it's actually my birthday next Friday. Yeah.
day?
Yeah, it's my birthday next Friday, which is so funny. It's actually like so lovely having a reading for my birthday. But yeah, my birthday next Friday.
And it's a special one.
I'm 27 this year. So
Okay,
yeah.
I have 28 in my head. I don't know whether you do what I do, where
Think ahead of time.
I do,
Jump.
yeah, I always do. It's weird. My daughter said, "Why do you do that?" I said, "I just like to prepare." But yeah, I had 28 and you said 27. But so there's something amazing about also hitting onion. I don't want to preempt you, Nia. It's late 20s. It's a beautiful time. I'm going to draw you a card, and then
Yeah.
we will close down the space. Um, what was it like just being on camera, just connecting again on here? Because I just, yeah, the first time was just amazing, that how you could be so vulnerable and allow yourself.
It's really nice. I'm 100% more comfortable. Not that I wasn't the first time, but I think just from sort of the progression and just coming on camera with you and just being so free and just speaking and actually sort of like deepening and analyzing myself and sort of my life and how things are, I feel like there's been such a development in a month or so. It's so strange from when we last spoke, and I think that maybe is because there's new beginnings and there's endings and there's closure for me. So I've been able to sort of develop and work on myself inadvertently.
Yeah,
So
you you
it's been
yeah,
nice.
you trusted yourself, based on the release. But I also want to say commitment. Like there's a newfound commitment to you. And what are you getting when I'm saying that? Because I've just sort of I can feel like a little a pull. What were you thinking of feeling when I said that? That there's a commitment.
Um, I think commitment for me, it's not just the confounds of sort of me studying. I think that's sort of like relationship, family, friendship. I think for me, when I'm committed, I'm really, really committed, and I feel like I'm quite invested in that whole aspect as well. That's the only thing I can sort of draw on or think to.
Yeah. Right. So where I'm going is I've just gone into another memory where oh gosh, it's so funny because what happens is we start to work one avenue, and then the other area comes in, and then another one. So I'm like, okay, no, this will be for another session here. What's happening is we're just sort of reflecting on how you have opened yourself up to your vulnerability, and then I'm going to draw a card and do it that way round, because
That's
there's
okay.
too much
Yeah.
noise, too much analysis that I'm being asked to add up, and I'm like, no, I can't do that. So I've just put that. Oh, to the side, so that we can work on it from a different angle for you. Because as you know, I work with different various dimensions, and some of them can be quite thorough. So I'm going to do it that way. Ooh. Are you with somebody?
Yeah, I've been with him for, gosh, about 6.5 years. Yeah, it's quite a while.
I feel like he's the one.
Yeah, so do I. As much as we annoy each other,
Yeah.
I wouldn't do without him. Yeah, I wouldn't do without him.
And so what I've been led to say is, now that you've got the work situation, you graduate, now it's time to focus on the relationship, because it's like we go into layers of ascension.
Yeah.
And you've gone through, you've built your resilience and tenacity from actually being vulnerable and trusting source. So you've actually connected yourself very spiritually to get to yourself, to your destination. So a massive journey there. Now what I'm being told is your next assignment. It's like, oh, for God's sake, I've just done one, and now you've been
There's always another assignment.
So I see a very, very happy home life, but I can see a little bit of processing that is to come.
I think I know what that means. Yeah. It's quite funny you saying that, because like I did have a chat with my boyfriend this week, and I said, I think because we've been together so long, about saving and getting a place in the future, I think I was very much pulling away from that a few years ago. I think where I was in education, and I just had so much worry and anxiety about not living at home. I don't know why. Maybe it's just the child in me, and it's the unknown. But seeing a lot of my friends who have moved out, and sort of like how my cousins sort of like adapted, and like how she's with her husband and her children, I'm very much like more open to the idea. And as I'm getting older, it makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm starting to want to work towards.
Okay. So without going into a double, like a full wham session on that, because I'm just touched on the journey you're going into with the love vibration. I'm just seeing a butterfly. I'm just seeing it in terms of a butterfly, but something about being adaptable and flexible to roll with the times. I don't know what that means. What are you picking up your side?
I'm trying to think. Rolling with the times.
Okay, thank you. Self-expression. Yeah.
Okay.
And creativity, because what's required of you as you go in to this next chapter of your life is that it's funny, isn't it? Because you just built on some resilience to get yourself somewhere. But now the relationship is actually getting you to be fluid, because sometimes there's a case of you, there's a bit of control, and wanting to do things just a certain way. And it's being able to grab both your visions and run with it in a way where you're being authentic.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, no, I agree.
And I think that he's the one. I don't know whether you've been thinking ahead what that family would look like, because I'm seeing you visualize what kids are like, what if I'm going to have one or two, or what, how old am I?
I think I do like manifest a bit, like subconsciously. I don't let too many people in, but like I have had many a conversation with him. Yeah.
So just, I think for a short reading, just to add on to that reflective mode that we've just been in, to consolidate your journey with your recognition and your value, is just to say that he is the one, because I think there's a little bit of trust that can waver a bit, like, oh, is it going to be all right? I see almost that I could see that we would probably could do with like 1 or 2 focus sessions to get to that next level in that area there.
Definitely.
How did that feel?
It felt really nice. I feel like whenever I sort of like have a reading, I've sort of got that sort of clarity, and I feel like really sort of calm, but it also doesn't invalidate how I'm feeling, because I feel like I'm thinking and feeling the right things, but maybe I don't necessarily go about it the right way. So it's nice to sort of hear those sort of thoughts and reflections as well.
Yeah, because what you're just gaining a bit some new techniques to maneuver yourself around this situation where because you understand what you want, and you'll find, and I'm getting it, like you will find new ways of how to operate. Because relationships are a little bit different from when you're working for your vision. Yet actually, when you're working for your vision, the people who you are related to are part of that.
Yeah.
Now it's the case of you allowing him, or you working together collaboratively on a future vision.
Definitely.
So and what my work, a lot of it is to simplify and work with things methodically, because when I connect, it all whoosh comes in, and I get a whole ton of assignments to work with you, and it's like, okay, which one are we going to do first, and in what order, and we simplify it and keep it nice and simple, because it depends on how much you want to grow. Because I've had clients who stay with me for years, but then like you've had one session and you just managed to, what you fix on it helps you to get to one point, and that's substantial enough.
Yeah.
So how much paint do you want to add onto the canvas, basically?
So true.
Thank you, Jade, for coming on.
Thank you. It's been amazing.
It's a blessing to have you, and have an amazing evening.
Thank you. You too. Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. Take care.
Bye.
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 Okie dokie. I never quite know what how I'm going to be worked with. So let me just contact admin and see what we're going to do. I can't see. I'm on the comments. Let's see if I'm not missing. So we've still got people on. Haven't lost anyone when we went through that. Hi, Balbear. Hi, Dawn. Dawn says shared. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, that's always amazing if you can love, like, and share the page, guys. And I believe we've got. Let me just check in. What is the time? Okay, we're doing another camera. We're doing so Laura, we've got Laura on next. So let me know. Hello, Laura.
Hi.
I feel like I'm in Champneys or somewhere with you.
Oh, I wish.
I love the giggles. I just want to laugh now. I don't know what the nervousness, but yeah. How are you? Thank you for coming on live.
Good.
How do you
But
feel?
no, because you were asking for people, so I was like, oh, just do it, you know. You only live once, right?
Yeah, what the heck? Yeah, exactly. I mean, I just, I feel like having a cocktail with you. I've got water, and I'm like,
If you have one, can you send me one as well?
Martini comes to mind. I haven't had a martini in a very long time. Right. So I'm just wondering, because what I'm going to be working with essentially with you first. This is how it comes. There's counselling, there's mediumship. Do you want me to pull a card? Do you want to just explain maybe one bit that you want me to focus on with you? An area that you're looking clarity on? Do you want to keep it general?
Love.
Yeah?
Yeah, please.
Okay. As you can tell, I work very much with just the energy of individual, because we can go into to many sort of areas. So we're going to contact. It's like I want to contact with a mediumship link. I don't know whether that's because with your love, you're needing reassurance and comfort at this moment in time. Are you feeling a little bit sick in your tummy? There's a little bit of stirring that I'm feeling. So it's either you or someone that I might be is coming.
I'm a bit nervous.
Okay, so maybe that's what it is, because my stomach's churning. It could be yours. Okay. Now, it comes to me like you're wondering what to do. So I'm just trying to figure out if you've actually got someone established here yet, or he's not quite manifested. But all I know is that you're wondering what to do with him. That's what it feels. I'm wondering what to do with him. He's like a kid. Is there somebody that you've actually, is there somebody around at the moment? Because I'm getting an individual, a little bit juvenile. I kind of want to put him on the naughty step. I feel like, very, very in his child.
Okay.
Very, very in his child. And I want to say, are you surprised that I'm bringing this one in? This individual?
No.
Okay. Because I'm wondering whether you know that I'm only going to give, because you said this is why I need to get your permission, right? Obviously, it's live. Do you think that there might be someone else outside of the relationship? Do you know that he's the one?
I know that he's the one. I don't think there's anyone else outside.
Okay. So what I'm feeling is there's sometimes a doubt in you. That's what I want to pick up on. And I want to explore with you where the doubt comes from.
Okay.
Because there's a sense that you get cold feet. Now, I'm wondering if the cold feet is just about relationships, like the whole idea of it. There's a certain anxiety.
I think it's him.
Okay.
Not me.
So there's a bit of and that's why I want to place him on the naughty step, because it's like he needs time out.
Okay.
And it's time out to think about his behaviour like you would with a child. Just say what you do, you need to reflect.
Yeah.
That's the situation that's happening at the moment.
Yeah.
And there's a feeling like Groundhog Day. So it's going round and round and round. There's something that just feels like it's a bit repetitive. So it could be what you said. Yeah. Now I'm getting it like almost like if I was doing because I feel like I'm getting marriage guidance. I feel like this could be on the brink of a long commitment, but it's to help you with the psychologicals of it. And what I've got is it's to help you with his frame of thinking, because you can't understand what's going on in his head.
Yeah.
And it kind of it's funny because I'm also getting like graffiti going around. So I don't know why I don't know whether I'm placing him like maybe seeing him back in his school age. I don't quite know why I'm getting links to graffiti. Is he quite urban or no? Do you know what graffiti? Why I'm getting images of graffiti? What that?
No, I couldn't tell you.
Sometimes spirit give me the most weirdest and abstract like images to toy with, and I think, why can't you just give it to me straight? Because they're giving me a coded way to explain his behaviour. But all I can say, there's bold. He's bold. Can be a bit brash. Louder than you. No. It feels to me, if it's not louder, he's more of a focal point. Like whether he stands out or it's all. I don't know whether it's his feelings that he just feels a lot more present than you are. He feels a lot more present in things. even though you're the one saying that he might have cold feet. I can't quite work it out. Some reason it's gone a little bit hazy, it's gone fuzzy. Sometimes it happens when I know I need to hand it back to you for you to be able to do a little bit of reflection your side. It would be a lot about communication. And being able to work yourself out as well. Because you can't you can't get him, he can't please you sometimes unless he knows what you want, and you're not always open at completely telling him all
Correct.
the time. And then he gets confused and he also acts out, and then it's almost like you become his mum in some respects. There's a little dynamic that's being played out, quite interesting, as to why that formulates. Now, what I'm saying, how does it land? What's it like hearing this sort of reflection?
Yeah, I can totally relate to it. Naughty step totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Kind of going round in circles is like, yeah, like, come on, when's it gonna change? Yeah, it's funny on like how you said the graffiti, because I couldn't tell you anything on that.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's interesting, but definitely feel like something's told me like over a year ago, going back last February. Don't ask me why. I've been on my spiritual journey for like 2.5 years now, and something said like it's worth the wait. It's worth the wait. I don't know why. I still feel it.
Yeah. Something about autumn and September is particularly significant for you, and during that time there's a lot of you writing a lot, processing. I don't know if this is work or what, but are you doing admin, or there's something where I want you writing?
I do a lot of journaling.
Okay. So it's all going to come flooding in, where there's a lot of processing and making sense moments where it's all flooding onto paper. And I know it'd be autumn or September time. And have you got a ring? Is there an engagement?
Not an engagement ring. It's on my opposite hand. It's on my right. It's just a standard, ring.
That's not from him, because I feel like there's a ring linked between you both. That there's something that's going to join you.
Yay!
Because I'm literally seeing. So I don't know if it's, but it's a thing with surprises, isn't it? Because it's meant to be a surprise, but I definitely see this is coming in, and I do feel like there is some kind of like, he's quite good with his money. I think he likes to treat you.
I ain't had nothing yet.
I'm just saying champagne. I'm like,
but I have been told in previous readings that when it comes, like, it's going to be slow, like your patience. Like, I've put in a lot of effort, which I have. I've put in so much effort, but I've wanted to do it, and I felt like, not that I've needed to do it. I've wanted to do it, but I feel like I've been guided to do it. But I felt like I've been told like it's going to pay off. Like, it is worth the wait.
Yeah, because I definitely see like champagne being waited on, you getting the treatment, but sometimes you don't get it until it's like he's probably had to have a lot of. He's definitely having time out, basically, to think about his behaviour.
I'm not a wanting person, so my heart's connected to this person for a reason, I believe. Time will tell. Destiny will be what it's going to be.
Yeah. Sort of. I think that the spiritual bit about you is linking in the purpose of like what you two have come, why you've come into each other's lives, because there's definitely some mirroring.
Yeah, a healing as well, I feel.
Yeah, healing, because the mirroring is your shadows, that you both have similar wounds from the past, which is why you come together, because actually you're a lot more similar than you are different, yet it feels like you're clashing, and that's all it is, because you take it in turns to be vulnerable or need or want the help. So what am I getting? You are going into something different with work because it's like extracurricular, but you are getting more focused into your profession. But what I'm hearing is about important for you to have boundaries. But it comes in with the relationship.
Yeah.
But I'm not too sure if it's boundaries that are so specific, because there's different types of boundaries, and I'm just being able to say, oh no, it's not the boundaries that are so standout-ish like you think they are. They're different. What boundaries do you think you need to set that you are trying to establish?
Boundaries in, I suppose I could speak up a little bit more. I suppose in like boundaries, like stand up for myself and say like, okay, this didn't happen. Well, actually, it made me feel like X, Y, Z. You know, set my boundaries that way to let them, them know how it made me feel, and that I know my self-worth, and that it shouldn't have necessarily happened. You know, things happen, but there's other ways and means of going around it.
100%, and it's so good. I had to smile when you said that, because it went on the thing about it knowing what you need and want, being able to express your vulnerability, to say to him, you know when XYZ happens, that actually makes me feel this, and when that happens, can I ask you a favour? When that happens, this is my triggers, and this is what I need from you. These are the love languages that help me to feel reassured and comforted. I'm a feely person and I need a hug. And when I don't feel it, it makes me feel vulnerable. And when I feel vulnerable, I put up the barriers. So it's getting very specific and expressive, because at the moment he doesn't know, and then he reacts.
Yeah, I try and play it just cool. I'm like, why? Because I've been very open in like writing, like very old fashioned, like writing love letters, etc. But then when it comes to something like I'm not happy, I just block off, then might respond like, the next day or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, what, that actually made me feel really, really shit. And I know that's where I should stand up for myself and have that boundary and say what I feel and how it makes me feel not worthy, of or whatnot.
And do you know what else? And I could feel the emotion when you said it. And we're going into inner child, and then the more you start to, I think that you'll be doing more like self-development, like counselling or coaching, or really understand the psychology of things, because just how you express yourself to get yourself navigated into this, being able to receive love, because you both mirror the same thing. It's difficult for you to take it in.
Yeah.
There's a lot of low confidence on both sides of self-worth.
Yeah.
And what I was hearing is the barriers that we don't, that's not as the barrier that seems so explicit, is the barrier actually you're saying it's more about asserting your needs. So rather than like, does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
I want this. I not like demanding, but it feels important to me.
I feel like I need to see you, or I want the loving, or
what that does for me is it helps me XYZ, because that makes me feel less and then you're really breaking it down. That's the kind of where I think that you are coming into your own with I don't know what you're going to be doing, but it's like a real healing journey that you're really healing journey. And those heartfelt things, he's going to really I'll say get off one, but he's going to really, he likes it when he feels need, when he feels needed, but not the other way around. Because you get you and off you go. What did that feel like?
I suppose, let's say I was doing the chasing for a fair bit and now I've backed off.
Yeah. So you've gone from one to the other.
Yeah.
And now what you're doing is you're going to draw both of them to bring in that balance.
Yeah. Just let it come together.
Yeah, something happened when you did the chasing, and then it changed and went the other way round. But I've just had a little notification to close down the session. What happens is I can get like I'm very, very thorough with my work, and because I like you to really get to understand and make sense, because that's how you process, and then you see the avenues open up for you.
Yeah.
Didn't feel like there was options and choices before, but the confirmation is definitely he's having time out. He's been having to think about it, go around it a little bit more, how I've just said, expressive, and there will be and there is the soul thing. You're definitely mirroring each other.
Yeah.
Does that help?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Thank you so
very
much. Really appreciate it.
No worries. Thank you.
Okay, Laura. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. See ya. So, let me just check in and see what I am led to work on next, because I'm just going to trust the guidance of admin. I don't know who's on, how many we've got on, but I'm going to do a okay. Let's do a self-love advert, and then we're going to go and do go back into the readings.
The most powerful relationship you will ever have is the relationship you have with yourself. I cannot emphasize just how important self-love is for anyone embarking on a journey of self-awareness and development. There are so many misconceptions on what self-love really is. People think it's about narcissism or selfishness, but no. It has nothing to do with things like that at all. And this is why I want to teach you about what self-love really is. So this is my free e-gift to you. I have put together a short ebook guide that will get you started on developing self-love. And this ebook will teach you 5 simple ways to be kind to yourself, starting today. This will help you increase your levels of self-appreciation and self-worth. There are fundamental aspects of happiness and joy and prosperity. And I'm going to include all of this into a short e-course and a free bonus in addition to the free ebook. I'm Angelina Ray, and I'm a qualified professional counsellor with a BACP accreditation. And I've been a therapist for over 20 years. I'm also a psychic medium, and my gifts allow me to communicate with loved ones from the other side. And I bring back messages to help you with healing and closure. I'm also a spiritual healer, a trained level 3 Reiki master, and spiritual life coach. I want to equip you with valuable tools as you start your journey, and that's why I'm giving away both these gifts for free. And with the information contained in both the ebook and the course, you'll be well on your way to nurturing the best version of you. And this will be in no time at all. But just remember, knowledge without implementation is absolutely useless. So be sure to practice what you will learn from these tools that I'm giving to you. Self-love is very important to me, and that's why if more people learn the art of self-love and practice it, the world will truly be a better place. So why don't you make a difference by starting with yourself?
Okay, so what we're going to do is have one more cam reading, and then we're going to see where we go after that, because yeah, I just my guidance from admin, and we've had a few people waiting for some time, so we're going to another cam reading, and yeah.
Oh, it's me. Hey, how you doing?
It's me. Hello, Peter. How
It's
are
me.
you?
It's me. I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
You're looking very suntanned. I've been asked to say, are you going away? Are you going on
No.
holiday? Are you going
Well,
on
no, yeah, I
vacation?
am in 4 weeks. I am. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because
Yeah.
it's important that you have something to look forward to. I feel like I've got granddad in who's
Yeah, he's
saying
back.
this.
He's back. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm seeing feathers. I don't know whether you see him, but he's just saying this confirmation for you because he says when you see little feathers around, that there's
Yeah.
that's him. But he said something, and I don't think I've got much memory. I feel like I've got a little bit of memory loss with him because I'm being
Okay.
worked. He said a few things, and then I've got talking to you, and it's gone.
It was 2 years ago, last time we spoke. So, yeah, I expect you not to remember everything we previously spoke about. So,
But your granddad, did that hear his memory? Do you know that he might have had a bit of memory loss or not?
him? I don't know. I don't know. Don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Potentially.
So, yeah, he did say to me he's coming, and he's coming thick and fast as soon as we've connected because he's very, very strong. And I'm also
Yeah.
hearing uncles. I feel like you've got quite a few around.
I don't, but I'm an uncle, and obviously we bumped into each other yesterday,
Yes.
coincidentally, and yeah. So obviously I'm an uncle to a couple of, well, quite a few nephews and nieces, and I've lost that connection with them. So that could be potentially
Why I'm
what that
hearing
is. Yeah.
that. Okay.
And
Now,
I was the best uncle ever at one point.
when you said at one point, I
Yeah.
felt that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So to have family around. It feels
Yeah.
to me that you're isolated. You feel a little bit alone.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Through I would say through no fault of my own.
Mhm.
But maybe my ego got in the way a little bit. Does that
Mhm.
make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously, a couple of years ago, the problem I have is my nephew's birthday is exactly the same birthday as my wife's. So it's always balancing the two, which I try to do. So my problems, and the reason I spoke to you yesterday is last year it was my nephew's birthday, and I had to work in the morning. I had no choice, absolutely no choice. And I suggested a time to my sister, but due to the fact my older nephew, son of my sister, I spent every single day with him. Like I loved him, I adored him, and I still adore him now, even though he's like 15 years old and he doesn't really care about his uncle.
Yes.
I think she had this vision that I would be the same. Because I couldn't make it at a time that suited her.
Yeah.
We haven't spoken really much. It's her birthday today, actually. I wish her happy birthday. And we had a brief conversation. But because of what's happened, and because she's the vulnerable one in the family, I don't really talk to my family anymore. And it's really quite upsetting. So I do feel alone, as you say.
Yeah. I can feel it from you, and also I'm hearing responsibilities. Just keep saying responsibilities, and you feel torn. It's almost like because you don't do things by half measures, and for some reason there's a belief in your head or in your emotions that say that you have to have either or, that you have to choose.
I think for myself, obviously we've spoken in the past, and you saved my marriage, which is fantastic, and everything's really going well. I think for myself, what I've learned over the past couple of years is when there's people in my life or in my past that doesn't strengthen my present or my future, I seem to walk away from them. Even if they're my blood. I keep having this word all the time through certain people. They're your blood, they're your family. And I get that. My family used to be the core to my life. They were absolutely everything to me. But when I met my wife, I stepped out of the bubble. Slightly. I put a foot outside the bubble. And people don't like change. And I can't help but feel my family don't like the fact that I sort of separate myself slightly. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, what's happening is there's a real sensation that's happening at my forehead behind one of my eyes. There's a real pressure. As you said that. What are you feeling when I'm drawn to this? What's the thought that you're thinking?
I know exactly what you're talking about. I've got this numb sensation.
Yeah.
And it's almost like I've separated myself.
Yeah.
And I no longer have connection. I don't have the connection anymore that I used to. Previously, if I was speaking to you, say 2.5 years ago, 2 years ago, as I say, I would protect them, look after them, do anything for them. And now, because of what's happened, I've lost complete emotion to them. I have no emotion to my direct family anymore, which is really sad. My cousins, which I'm really close to, I still love them. I'm seeing them. I'm going on holiday with them. But my mum, there's a bitterness there with my mum, because although she says she didn't take sides in the situation, listen, as a parent, if my daughter was struggling in any aspect of her life, I would be there for her in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
My mum's not like that. She stepped away from every aspect. But if I was my mum, I'd be saying to my mum, look, Peter, he was working in the morning. He suggested the time to come round for the birthday. And I went to see my sister about 3 months ago, and she admitted to me, I overreacted, I was wrong.
Wow.
And obviously I put the effort in to go and see her. I left the ball on her court. But that's it. It's like my family seemed to have looked at me as the evil person, which I'm not. I generally wanted to go and see him. So it's been quite tough for me over the past sort of year and a half, because I haven't had the opportunity to see my nephew. My younger nephew has the same birthday as my wife. I don't know him because of COVID. So I don't really have that connection. Does that make sense? But yeah, I think I've come here just to get a bit of guidance of what potentially I should or should not do. Maybe I should drop the ego. But when I say an ego, I'm not being stubborn with the situation. It's just, I generally did nothing wrong. I just had to work that morning. That's all. But I've been blamed for it. So
you're trying to figure out the aspects of how you're detached, how you feel detached, and how you have disassociated. And there's an unconscious experience that runs within your psyche, and it's related to you being a father. And it's like you've got this protective mode. They're in this nest, and you've got to not let anyone sort of inject themselves into your reality, because as a father figure, it means a lot more than you actually know, or you do know, because I've done some work with you before, but it's about the importance of, or how you see yourself as what a father is and should be, or what hasn't been in your life.
Yeah. So it's my sister's. Obviously, it's my sister's birthday today. They're having a barbecue on Saturday. I said I'm not going to come round because of the situation that we're in at the moment. I don't want to cause tension. I have no intention to go there to cause a problem. but I know I just sense that there's going to be a problem. My mum did text, why don't you let Libby come around, my daughter, and stay the night. But what you just said, she's got no one there to back her up, and kind of be with her. And what I found over time is this is a quite sad reality. If you're not in a relationship with the parents of that child, that child almost like gets blamed for it. And I'm really scared that if my daughter went there on Saturday, my sister and her husband would be quite negative towards her, and I'm quite frightened about that. So for her protection, I'm saying no. Now, my wife's in France at the moment. She's having a great time with all her friends, and actually I could have Saturday night on my own, and that'd be fantastic. But I just don't want to put in that situation. But then at the same time, it's just like, am I stopping her seeing her family? It's a really tough situation for me, because in a dream world, I'll be talking to them again. They were the people that I loved and I adored and I generally cared about. I'd do anything for them. But then over the past couple of years, it's just, it's just. So I've become. It's like there's a barrier.
You removed yourself from being able to put it, because I feel a lot of tears behind my eyes, and it's how it's what you're seeing in your daughter, because it's the child, regardless of a boy or she's part of you, and she is your inner child. And through raising her, you're learning how to raise the inner child of yourself, and you're finding it hard to express those feelings within your immediate family because it runs very deep. And the best way you do it is avoidance. The best way you deal with pain is you detach.
100%.
You wouldn't want to hurt them. You wouldn't want them to feel like you do, because there's a lot of guilt that you feel for no reason, which is why you need a holiday. Like, the responsibility is just on you, but you create it for yourself.
Yeah, I think for myself, I don't have holidays. I run a business, and a memory that always sticks in my mind going to Thailand before the COVID situation, and have a laptop in Thailand. I didn't really truly enjoy myself, and I'm going to Camp Sounds. It's like a family resort, but I'm not going to bring my laptop. I'm going to work. So I'm not going to work. I'm just going to leave my laptop at home. I'm going to enjoy myself with my family. But as you say, guilt. But I don't understand where that guilt comes from.
Yeah,
that's the hard part for me. It's just like, what did I do? Like, if I look at stuff on a piece of paper, I was working in the morning. I suggested a time in the afternoon, and it didn't happen. But I've got this sense of guilt, which I just don't understand. It's really quite difficult for me.
What I'm going to say, because I understand where you're talking, is a sensation of being present, but then coming out of the body and then coming back in, and
I've always been like that, though.
Yeah, and the guilty thing you're relaying, it's easier for you to go, what did I do wrong with my boundary, or sharing that I needed my time here? But it goes, what did I do wrong in my childhood where I had to protect other people's feelings above myself?
Well, as you know, I'm not going to go into too much detail because we're live, but the situation with my mum, my dad, and I think what upset me a couple of days ago is my mum compared me to my dad. Not meaning to. She's apologised, because I defend people. But not defend people. How can I describe it? My dad fell out with all his family and his friends.
Yeah.
But for his own choice. I've fallen out with my family, my immediate family, my wife's family. I'm so unbelievably close to. I love them to pieces. Like I miss them every single day, because they live in Gibraltar or Australia or wherever. But when they're here, I adore them, because I've still got that in me, that family connection. It's just with mine, they can't be happy for anyone, and that's what's really difficult for me. It's just like I want to be happy for my family. I want to celebrate their success. I want to celebrate what they do, but they can't feel the same for me, and I think that's quite difficult for me, because I come from a very poor background, and I've done okay. I'm not going to say I'm overly successful. I've done okay. I would never praise myself for what I've achieved. It's come from mentorship and experience. Things that it doesn't really relate to this situation. That's part of it is that my family can't celebrate with me. Fine. But the fact is, I've got this barrier, and I don't understand it. And this is why I want a reading, to understand why I can't connect anymore. It's like I've taken a step back. It's difficult, really difficult.
Well, what's happened is, we're gonna close down the session.
That's fine.
What I would like, I encourage you, is to watch back, but don't watch it intellectually. Feel the words, because there were points where you came into your own answer, but what happens is that we had to almost come with the explanation and unravel it, and you don't have to do, and we're on live, but it's the questions that are the answers.
Yeah.
You became your father, and you became your child at the bid to fix that relationship. You became the father that says, I'm going to detach myself from people that I love, and you became the child who felt guilty that he had done something wrong. Okay. So you're playing two characteristics, which is shadow work and inner child work, and with a little bit more depth, we'll get into clarity. But it's big piece. But and I know but it's kind of a rushed one, because it's a little. We have to walk in. Is that okay?
Yeah, and I will come see you, because I know there's a lot more work to do. And look, you've helped me in the past. I'm sure you help me now. Yeah.
But all to say, what you're doing, what you're going through makes absolute sense. Connecting with the inner child of you. So all you're doing is what you're seeing on the outside is a mirror to what you're feeling in here, and we'll break it down again in an individual one-to-one.
Okay, fantastic.
Lovely for you to talk. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're most welcome.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okie dokie. So what we've done, okay, so we're going to just wrap things up on the whole. We've been on for 2 hours. Thank you all for joining me. And like I said, I'll go back onto the comments just to say a few hellos, because I do get very busy on here with my guardian system and working things out. So I'm going to love you and leave you, and do share the page out, and feel free to contact me with a feedback or anything else. Have an amazing evening, and lots of love and light.
The most powerful relationship you will ever have is the relationship you have with yourself. I cannot emphasize just how important self-love is for anyone embarking on a journey of self-awareness and development. There are so many misconceptions on what self-love really is. People think it's about narcissism or selfishness, but no, it has nothing to do with things like that at all. And this is why I want to teach you about what self-love really is. So this is my free e-gift to you. I have put together a short ebook guide that will get you started on developing self-love. And this ebook will teach you 5 simple ways to be kind to yourself, starting today. This will help you increase your levels of self-appreciation and self-worth. There are fundamental aspects of happiness and joy and prosperity. And I'm going to include all of this into a short e-course and a free bonus in addition to the free ebook. I'm Angelina Ray, and I'm a qualified professional counsellor with a BACP accreditation. And I've been a therapist for over 20 years. I'm also a psychic medium, and my gifts allow me to communicate with loved ones from the other side. And I bring back messages to help you with healing and closure. I'm also a spiritual healer, a trained level 3 Reiki master and spiritual life coach. I want to equip you with valuable tools as you start your journey, and that's why I'm giving away both these gifts for free. And with the information contained in both the ebook and the course, you'll be well on your way to nurturing the best version of you, and this will be in no time at all. But just remember, knowledge without implementation is absolutely useless. So be sure to practice what you will learn from these tools that I'm giving to you. Self-love is very important to me, and that's why if more people learn the art of self-love and practice it, the world will truly be a better place. So why don't you make a difference by starting with yourself?